Hey, this is how to paint models the Heretic way. This is painting. This is for people that want to have a decent painted army tabletop quality, but not necessarily have the time to do a lot of techniques and do all that cool stuff that everybody else does. So we're going to start off with this model. Here's a Vostroyian. In fact, I'll be painting Vostroyans for the tutorial. This one has been primed gray. And what I do is I take the GW black ink and I'm going to basically cover the entire model in an ink wash. And I'm pretty generous with it, and you can see almost right away ink settles into all the cracks and crevices, brings all the detail out, and what that does is it helps me when it comes to the second stage, which is base coating. So now I see where all the different parts begin, end, and it just really helps me out, makes me a faster painter. But basically, you want to cover the whole model. I'm trying to do this all in one 10-minute video, so I'm going to do some editing. So if I get cut off, that's basically because I need to move on to the next stage before my timer runs out. So once that's done, you're going to get a guy that looks like so. Okay, so we're ready for our next part. This is when you apply the base coat. So basically, you're going to paint from dark to light. This model has a lot of metal, chainmail, shoulder pads, weapons, and stuff like that. I usually start with a base color of black on the metal parts, so it's pretty easy. You spread the paint there as evenly as you can get it, and I usually water it down still. Usually use a watered down when I'm doing the base for metal. If I was doing the black boots here, I wouldn't water it down so much, but for metal it's fine. And you just want to cover the model evenly, and make you could be pretty sloppy at this point. You can make all your mistakes here. That's fine. The main point is you don't want to miss a spot and have to try to go back, because that gets pretty irritating. But just apply paint like so. And I got the camera off to the side, so I hope I'm catching all of this. But you get the point. Alright, now that the model's done, move on to the next part, which is dry brushing. Pretty simple technique, and I'm sure you've seen it before, but basically you take the paint and you're going to brush it off on a napkin or a rag or something. Get up most of it off. Then what you're going to do is lightly go over the plates, which are gold. It's going to give it a nice That's only going to hit the raised parts of the model, and you just lightly go over it. It creates a really nice effect. It's really easy to do, which I love. So once you get this down, you pretty much can do tabletop quality stuff and, you know, not be that great of a painter like me. But you can be mediocre. Have a whole painted army that looks decent is better than a army that's just primered. So at this point I finished all the major dry brushing. You can see the model has regained its depth. Mithril silver over black for the chainmail. Gold over black for the gold plates. Highlighted blood red over the red gore on the red pieces. Pretty much I'd say this at this point you could pretty much put him on the battlefield, and I don't think many people would complain. It's not going to win, you know, best painted or anything like that, but he's definitely, I'd say, 99% ready for tabletop gaming. And you know, you put him in a squad and he looks pretty decent. This next part that I'm going to get into is picking out the details. You could actually skip this part and go to the next part if you don't feel comfortable handling your brush, but I suggest you try. There's all little kinds of parts that need to be picked up. You see that little skull there, and we could put some LED lights and stuff like that, and it wouldn't take too long. The eyes would be nice on this model. I'm going to go ahead and do that, but like I said, for speed's sake, you could pretty much skip to the next part. Okay, now we're almost done. I added some detail, you know, picked out the skulls. I went a third stage highlighting on the purity seal, adding a layer of orange. Added some eyeballs to them, but basically didn't do much other than that. But like I said, this is for fast, easy painting. Now he's ready for the final stage, which is to mount him on his base, which I have made out of green stuff and standard GW 40K round base. You're going to pull him off the painting base, is what I call it, and we're going to use our clippers here to free him of his tab. And apply some glue to the feet area there. A little dab. Press and hold. And there you have it. One completed Vostroyian. I normally do about 3 at a time. That's the maximum amount before I start going nuts.